Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's happening? Get up and move your body. International Women's Day today. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning. So that means it's a Super Women's Wednesday.
Say again?
That means it's a Super Women's Wednesday.
Super Women. I'm not your superwoman.
Hey.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. Checking if I got that date right.
Yeah, you've been on point lately.
Say again?
So you've been on point lately with the
Man,
dates.
I'm trying. Time to get up, feel the funk. Ooh-wee. The early birds coming on in.
Get that worm.
Welcome. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chimers, ghost listeners. You know the drill. It's going down. Appreciate everybody that's jumping in with us this morning. I want to give a special shout out to the radio crew. Let me know how the mix was this morning. Love to hear some feedback on that. Over there on First Sky Omaha, hit the listen button and you can check us out on that. Or if you have an Amazon Alexa, you can ask her to play First Sky Omaha Radio. I want to give a shout out to Pops. We missed you on Monday, Pops. Glad you're in. He says, good Wednesday morning, First Sky, and mad love from Las Vegas. Right on, Pops. Appreciate you coming on in. Leia Keisty gives us a woohoo Wednesday. She got one for every day.
Man.
I like it.
What was Monday? Marvelous Monday? Was that it?
I think so, yeah. That's what's up. Judy Printer gives us a good morning. Good morning to you as well. Appreciate you coming in all early on Facebook. We definitely got our Facebook and our YouTube working, so that's what's up. Love to see that. And if you're over there, subscribe and all that good stuff, and share the show today. Definitely have a lot of good things. There's gonna be some good sound bites coming out of this show for sure. Because we got this International Women's Day today, and fitting for us to have Women's Wednesday here with Precious McKesson, Politicin with P. Kimara Snipes was good in the hood. Gonna join us a little later on. So yeah, happy about that.
Yeah, well, some education topics to get into today. We'd definitely love to speak with Miss Brianna Fool if we can as well. Get some of her takes on this. But super Women's Wednesday, man. It just lined up quite perfectly. So we'll take it.
That's what's up. Lots going on this week. Let us know if you guys have been up to Lincoln. We got a lot. There's a lot of bills, a lot of stuff happening this week that everybody's trying to support. So let us know how your efforts have been going. You've been writing letters, going up. Have you been coordinating with other chat chimers and other people doing that? So let us know if you've been up there to see what's happening. We got some other opportunities to do that though, because Terrell McKinney's bill is going to be they're going to talk about it tomorrow. So you got an opportunity to go up tomorrow and support that bill. I think it's what did we say? What was 720? I forgot already.
785. I want to say.
Let's see. I got the graph.
Let's go ahead and get it right.
Yeah, we're gonna get it right. It is
786.
785 actually.
Oh, so it is 785. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong one.
785. Yeah, Thursday.
786 is a housing act. Okay.
Thursday, March 9th, 785. State intent to appropriate funds to the Department of Natural Resources and the Department of Economic Development Appropriations Committee in room 1525. That's what's going on tomorrow, and that is the extension of the 1024 situation. So Again, that's going for all that good loot that's out there, earmarked for North and South Omaha. We're still working on it, and time to show support. This is the week of support for this, and so I can't wait to get some reports on what happened with the earlier bill yesterday, and then we'll talk about getting in there this week, getting in there tomorrow. So lots to talk about today. Of course, we're in the middle of this legislative session that is very interesting to all of us. Seems to be. I get a lot of messages now about these bills, about the process. We all seem to be learning. A lot of us who didn't really understand what was going on, kind of learning together, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, yep. As you call it, the Great American Drama.
Yeah, man. Unicameral TV is something else. Prime time, must see TV.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Anyway, what's going on with you, man, on this Wednesday? How you feeling?
I'm all right. I'm all right in the thick of it. Still kind of getting acclimated, I guess is a good word, to the new place, new space. Trying to arrange my studio. My angle's a little off today, but we'll get that right. Still trying to arrange and test things out. But yeah, other than that, man, still grinding. That's kind of the theme of the year. Head down, grinding, trying to make things happen, take it to the next level. So yeah, that's kind of getting back into the swing of things. Little man started school again today, so
okay,
there's that. Got him back in the new school, so
it's
yeah, just getting back into the swing of things.
Right on.
Yeah, so
new school for him, huh?
You said new school, new friends, new experiences. Not too far from the house, so that's all right. But yeah, I'm excited for him. He seemed to kind of finally be getting into the swing of going to school, being around other children, making friends, being social. He's broke out of a social shell. So I'm looking forward to that continuing, and him making friends, hopefully meeting some other children in the neighborhood, having those normal childhood experiences. That's my aim. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, whatever normal is these days, that's a good question.
That's a good point. It's a good point. do children still go outside and play? Is that still a thing? Does the gang still get together?
I think they go outside and play video games together. Sit around with pads under trees.
Chase AI Pokemon animals.
Yep. It was interesting, man. I wrote my journal the other day. I was talking to Lil Man on the phone. He likes to call up and do a FaceTime and use all the little funny faces to talk to each other. So he hit me. So he was talking to me, and it just is interesting to me, him being like 5 years old, 6 years old, going, I think I'm gonna spam this page with a whole bunch of minions, and then and I hope it doesn't glitch and go out. I think it's gonna slow down it's gonna slow down. He's talking all this tech stuff, and I'm just like, it was hitting me what he was saying. I understood what he was saying, but it was hitting me that he was using these terms. He's gonna spam.
He understood.
Right. He's gonna spam the window with a bunch of stuff, and he hopes that when he does that, his internet doesn't slow down.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Think about it. Here it is, man. You and I both grew up basically without the internet.
Yeah.
Very
true.
A large majority of our childhood was spent without the internet. Can you imagine what just the game? Listen, it's a complete game changer, a complete game changer. We'll be looking into it more, and that's why it's no small thing. What brother Bill King is doing, bringing internet to some of the reservations and some of the rural areas in western Nebraska. Man, like you almost take for granted the access to internet and technology. How that plays a part on the world, how we see the world around us, but. Yeah, man, these new kids, man, they growing up, they just know it inherently. It's like, I don't know if you're familiar with the thousand monkey experiment, but yeah, they just come out knowing.
I don't know about that one.
You never heard about that? Yeah, it was an experiment where there was a group of monkeys that were basically shown a technique to wash off their fruits before they eat them, and they were shown this. They did not know this inherently. They were shown this. But by the time that they mastered this technique, the same species of monkeys on a different part of, it was either a different part of the island or a different part, like it basically another group of monkeys that was completely separate from this group. The new generations came out knowing this technique inherently. It was a phenomenon that they didn't explain or really couldn't explain at the moment. But basically, that's the concept. There's kind of like conceptual, like as a concept and idea goes out into the ethos, other people start to download it and pull it down, and it becomes a thing, and that's how things actually spread throughout the world as far as information, ideas. So yeah, it's called the Thousand Monkey Experiment. That's a quick explanation. Look into it, but it's a real thing. As this technology and these more information comes out, the kids are just going to know it. It's going to be inherent.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff, man. Interesting notions for real. It's interesting. Like the stuff that I learned in the past 5 years is also the stuff he learned in the past 5 years. You know what I mean?
Like, right. And probably more so.
On that level, I thought about like his mom. His mom was not too tech savvy. She got some skills, but she's not too tech savvy. But I just thought about me and him having this conversation about him spamming the window, and all these terms that he's using sound. We recognize that as a whole nother language. That's a tech language.
It is.
We're kind of speaking in this other language. If you don't know tech, you don't know what me and him was talking about in that 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So really interesting stuff, man. Let us know what you think about that too. Like, do you notice that with your kids, especially the ones that have young kids? Are they coming out speaking techies already? Miss Erica Felt gives us a good morning. It's good to see you, Miss Erica Felt, on your regular name on Facebook. I ain't seen that in a little minute. You've been that woman for a while. Mama God says, good morning, First Sky fam. It's Women's Wednesday, y'all. Pops, I hope you're feeling better and here today. Yeah, Pops.
Yeah, man.
How you feeling today? I know you were under the weather on Monday, so let us know how you feeling. Let us all know. Let everybody know. Let's all talk about it. How y'all feeling? Man. What's been going on with you this week? How's your week going? Let us know.
Yeah. How about you, Paul? How's things going on in your world, man?
Not too bad, man. Just staying busy. Got kind of just always working on balance, work-life balance. So that's good. Kind of just even keel right now. I can't say up and down too much. Just kind of even keel. Trying to knock some stuff out, man. Projects and get some things done. Get to the next level on some stuff. So when you get to that point where you got a little bit of a clear path, cool sometimes, because you can just kind of zombie out and go for it. Just start ticking things off the list and keep rolling. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay. Well, let's get her done. And go ahead and keep it moving, man. Again, it is Women's Wednesday, as everyone is obviously excited for. So, as Paul mentioned earlier, definitely looking forward to speaking with the ladies, Politicin with P, with Precious McKesson, and finding out what's good in the hood with Sister Kimara Snipes. But we also do have a few other things to speak of throughout the show. So definitely bring your thinking caps. We'll definitely love to hear what you have to say. Let your mind be free. Let your hearts let your mind be free, let your hearts be free, and let your voice be heard. There you go. Kind of remixed it. But yeah, man, definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in, especially those of you in the chat, even the ghost listeners. Again, tune into the conversation, tell a friend. Let's keep the conversations going, because there's a lot happening in Nebraska, man, especially going down in Lincoln. A lot of bills still being discussed, a lot of people showing up, man. So definitely big shout out, especially those of you who showed up yesterday in support of LB 531. Which is one of two bills coming out to address and clarify the forward path for LB 1024. So again, big shout out to Senator McKinney. Put some respect on his name. And again, all of those who went out, especially if those of you are in the chat and you made it out to Lincoln or was able to get in a letter of comment, maybe get a little insight on what you wrote or a little story that you gave, or if you have some experiences that you'd like to share from actually going down to Lincoln, we would love to hear it. So we'll talk about exactly what LB 531 entailed. Also looking at some other bills that's addressing education. That fight still continues, man. And it looks like there is some good news as far as those who want to keep education pretty much the way it is for the good parts. Again, there's been some fight over who controls education in Nebraska at stake as far as losing control. The Board of Ed is under attack. I think that's fair to say. So we'll dive into that. And also looking at what's going on with multi-millions of dollars. Again, more money coming into North Omaha. So all that and more. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts and minds, feel free to let that be known. Drop that into the chat and we'll dive into it. Without further ado, it's about 15 minutes into the hour. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, ghost listeners, first-time listeners, last-time listeners, the chat. Everybody's here So let's go ahead and get this thing started.
Let's do it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What up, what up? Thanks for joining us. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, all of you ghost listeners, all the squad, as a matter of fact. Shout out to the squad this week. Lots of stuff to talk about when it comes to them. And shout out to you on the radio channel as well. I really appreciate everybody on the 630 crew. Let us know how the mix was. And, we'll keep on making it happen for you, making it funky for you in the morning. And if you ever want to check out some a celebration of Black music, then go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the listen button. You can check it out there, or you can ask your Amazon Alexa to play First Sky Omaha Radio. So thanks for joining us again. Miss Erica Felton in the chat said, my son Boogie is 16 and grew up on electronics. He had a mini PSP when he was two. Shake my head. He just interviewed for a summer job working from home doing cybersecurity. Their generation is different. I got internet when I was in my late 20s. Yeah. Yeah, man. Sitting at home doing cybersecurity. That's your summer job now, huh? That's crazy. I was raking rocks back in the day, but we'll talk about
that. You fixing roofs? Was you doing any roofing back in the day?
I was doing roofing. I was doing kind of all of it, but my first jobs was like the real grunt work, the raking of rocks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man. It is definitely different. Definitely different. I wouldn't even look in those directions anymore with what's going on electronically these days. Oh, yeah. Pop says it happens with humans just like the monkeys, which is why songs, movies, and TV programs come out at the same time that are very similar. It's quantum entanglement and entanglement pairs.
Yeah, like the Mandela effect.
Mandela effect is something else. I think that's this notion that something happened that actually didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the thing, this entanglement he's talking about is when you're in the zeitgeist and you get an idea, then somebody else has the same idea, and you guys do the same thing. And it comes out like movies come out in twos. Like if it's a hurricane movie, then it'll be 2 hurricane movies come out, stuff like that.
Yeah. I was thinking more so the Mandela effect in the sense that it's the same. Like people. Even if it didn't happen, there's still a group of people who feel like they had the same experience. You get what I'm saying? There's still that kind of collective experience.
That I never married that Mandela effect to that idea, but that's a good idea. That's a good thought process on that, because yeah, it is. If sometimes people feel like something happened that didn't happen, and it was an idea, and everybody caught on to that, and yeah, that does kind of match that whole idea of the quantum, entanglement situation. That's interesting.
And for those who aren't familiar with the Mandela effect, again, as Paul said, it's kind of the concept that there's an idea or a belief or experience that people share that actually didn't happen. For one of the main examples is the Sinbad genie movie that people apparently get confused with Shaquille O'Neal's Shazam. Yeah, apparently Sinbad never had a genie movie. I feel like I've seen it in the 90s. It didn't happen. But yeah, it was, like a thing. Yeah, right.
Where the name comes from is that at one point, a bunch of people were thought that Nelson Mandela had passed away, but he hadn't actually passed away. So everybody's wondering, why do we think that he did? Where did we get that news from? Why do we think he wasn't here? It's just, so then that's the reason why they call it the Mandela effect, because stuff like that happens all the time, where you think you have a memory of something that didn't happen. Pop says, yes, Paul, exactly right. Quantum entanglement says the 2 particles react to one another at the same time, even if they are billions of miles apart. It's crazy.
Man.
It's craziness.
There you go.
I wonder if that's what's happening right now with the GOP, because they kind of just everybody, all of a sudden the GOP's the grand old party's trying to take over education just about everywhere.
Man.
I wonder if it's quantum entanglement, or if they sitting dark rooms and make plans. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's think tanks and different kinds of entanglements.
Miss Erica Phil says, I never understood that Mandela effect. Nope, Sinbad had the movie. It was just bad. They're denying it. That's my theory anyway.
Nope, didn't happen. Didn't happen.
Sinbad was not the genie. I think it was Shaq, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Shazam.
Yeah.
Or Kazam. That was it. I am Kazam.
Yeah, there's some confusion there for sure, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Boy,
that's be a whole slippery slope.
There you go. Lucia Rodriguez in the house. Buenos dias. Appreciate you coming on in the Diaz. Thanks for joining us. She introduced me to a friend of hers the other day at the Vincent Theater whose last name was Diaz, and so she was like, she's truly in the Diaz. That's what's up. I appreciate you coming out to the Edom brunch the other day. That was off the chain, man. It was really, really encouraging to see folks there have some good conversations and talk about some events and things like that. And of course, Edom, voice of an angel.
Man, yeah, I saw the clip you posted. Man, still got it.
Man, and getting better all the time too, man. Steady writing music. Steady just we need to figure out how to get her on tour with Sade, since Sade is about to go back on tour.
Man, yeah, that'd be
imagine Edom opening for Sade, that'd be perfect. you would that would just be perfect. She absolutely needs to do that.
Man, real angelic, especially when she pulls out the harp.
Yeah, man. And that brunch, she pulled out a bass that was reminiscent. It looked like a Thundercat bass almost. And was playing some of that kind of stuff and singing.
Getting her mono neon on.
Man, bass, ukulele, harp, drums, African drums. You know what I'm saying? Like she'll sit there in a chair and just have the stuff surrounding her, grab a piece and go for it. If you ever get a chance to check out Edom soul music, definitely check her out. And I'll find some videos of hers and put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha, because there's a few talents out here that are just that should be internationally known, and Edom is definitely one of them.
Oh yeah, man. Omaha has a few hidden gems, man. So definitely shout out to not just Edom Soul, but to our partners at the Benson Theater, man, for putting her on. You know,
that's what's up. Yep. Anyway, it's 7:22 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, let us know how you're feeling. Let us know what's on your mind. We'll jump into some stories while we anticipate the ladies coming in on this International Women's Day. It's an International Women's Day today, and it just happened to fall on our Women's Wednesday, so that's what's up.
Perfect.
Yep. What's on the agenda, buddy?
Yeah, before we, speak with the ladies and get to celebrating our International Women's Day, we want to continue the conversation. Actually, again, we're talking about the Benson Theater and our partner of ours doing things and putting people on, and we want to continue that with another partner of ours doing things and putting folks on and telling the stories, doing the work that needs to be done. Talking about the Reader, and can you believe it? It's been a year since their Disinvested project was launched back in January of 2022, and now they're kind of looking back at some of the coverage that they've had over the last year. So big shout out to Chris Baby Boy Bowling, who's kind of the brainchild behind this Disinvested project, and again one of the main writers. Also Princess Leia Cates, who's actually moved on to Rutgers University now, but she's done a lot of work looking at social support, especially low-income families, and some of the benefits or lack thereof that's out there for them. Of course, you can always go back to thereader.com. There is a Disinvested link on the website for you to check out all of the articles that they've written over the last year and some of the work that they will do moving forward. But they've covered a bevy of areas, corners, and topics in this Disinvested project, the likes of housing, education, criminal justice, and social support, just to name a few. Some of the definite highlights that came out of this, of course, is looking at TANF, I guess is how you pronounce that, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, which is an annual federal block grant given to each state to support low-income families. However, the Reader did uncover that there's been a lot of families being denied, and there's a backlog of money quite couldn't figure out why or how. So again, definitely bringing up the questions that need to be asked as far as what the state is doing. Of course, Chris Baby Boy Bolin did a lot of coverage during our TIFF conversations. If you remember that, a lot of that was brought about by Chris. And then, of course, shout out to Bridget Fogarty, who's done a lot of work in education work in education. I also say, remember, she reported on the white flight that took place in OPS a few years ago as a result or response to COVID-19. So a lot of good work, a lot of good questions coming out of this work. Again, you can still go back and read some of these stories on the Reader's website. That's thereader.com. And there is a disinvested link on the page.
That's what's up, man. Really, really proud of the work that they all did. I was thinking to myself too that a lot of so we covered a lot of this. We remember on our News Mondays we have these guys in and talk about it. So a lot of what we have been doing and talking about here has been shaped by this particular series, and so it's really awesome to see. A year later, they basically our whole idea of deep diving hyper local into what's going on in Omaha is manifested. It's manifested in what they did and what we did together, and how First Sky Omaha has been a part of that. They've written these things. First of all, it's cyclical to me because we would talk about some things. We would go back to the editorial meetings, and then talk to them and say this is what is important to our our neighborhoods, the people that we're talking to, and then they said okay, that would give them ideas on stuff that they needed to dig into and write. Also, direct connections with people with chat chimers. They've interviewed chat chimers. They've gotten information from chat chimers. All kinds of stuff has gone down there, and it's really, really interesting. So then they write these articles, and then we're back here on First Sky Omaha talking about what they wrote and diving even further in. So I think a lot of what probably is happening, and this let me know if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like a lot of what's going on with now that we're in this solutions based kind of attitude and action based attitude has really come from this deep dive that we've been talking about trying to do for years now. We've done it here with this Disinvested series. So really proud of the squad, really proud of our part, First Sky Omaha's part in it. And you, the chat chimers, man, you guys have been very, very important to this whole process in a big way, which is it's a real trip when you think about it,
Yeah, that's not a small thing, as far as the chat chimers role in all of this, and just y'all for not turning this whole thing into just a calamity, man. Like for people to the respect that we give each other, the valuable information that everyone shares, the background, people sharing personal stories at times, like really really personal stories. Like sometimes like man, I'm surprised you shared that, but it creates a tone. It creates a community, it creates an environment for all of us to do what we do here. So definitely appreciate all of you. And Paul, you kind of mentioned it as well. For me, the biggest thing is not even how or not what we talk about and how we kind of spread information and how we, that ecosystem that we built, that's appreciative. But what I really, really give a shout out and give credit to the Reader and, John Heaston for is how we talk about what we talk about as far as the solutions journalism angle that you mentioned. I don't think that's a small thing as a journalist, as journalists by trade. Just the introduction of solutions journalism was different from what I've been trained to do, which is, just kind of the what, where, why, when, and how. And that's really it. You know what I mean? Just kind of put the information out, cover it surface level. And, if it bleeds, it leads, just that whole mentality of spreading and presenting information. But the solutions journalism, that's to the heart and center of why we do what we do, man. I mean, you can go to the Omaha World Herald, you can go to any of the other outlets and hear about the shootings and hear about what's going on in the community, but we're getting to how, why, and what is the solution. Like, is this a real solution for whatever issue is being addressed? And that's a change, and that's something that we would not have, I personally would not have been aware of or thinking about had it not been for the Reader and John Heaston.
It's interesting. My experience is learning this journalism. You watched me go on my journalism journey because that's where it started for me. So it's becoming intrinsic to me, and it made perfect sense when I heard it in the first place. People, you can hear the news, but people need answers out here. What can we do about something? You don't just want to hear bad news all day, every day. Like what can be done to help some things out? So I really like that idea too, and it's really led us to do the things that we do here. That they call non-traditional journalism. We're here, we're here having these discussions and finding out what the people want. That's what it's about. So again, shout out to all of our partners, man, for Flatwater Free Press. People that we work with that was in what was formerly Noise. Also, we also are always trying to get on the same page with 95.7 The Boss, William King, Terry Sanders over at Omaha Star, Galen Chambers with the Ernie Chambers channel. There's a lot of stuff. I just found out about another one, Afro Vibe Magazine and Media. Is something that I just got hip to recently, which I think is really interesting. So yeah, man, we're trying to expand that black media, and really, and the partners that we've been working with this whole time has been helping us do that. The Reader's been asking for more people of color to be on their team to go do some deep dive investigative work and all that. So just want to say we're on the right track, man. Shout out to the squad,
man,
the Reader squad right there. That's also Abby Kretz in there, who's doing the Documenters program now. You've seen a couple of these folks. We've had them on the show, Baby Boy Bowling, Carla there. There's a lot of folks that we've had pretty much everybody here on the show except for Lynn.
Yeah.
So yeah,
actually, I think we had Lynn on. We had Lynn on when we introduced Documenters. I want to say.
That's right. I do remember that now too. Okay, cool. So yeah, shout out to the squad, man. We're gonna continue to work with them, and I think they're doing good work. Let us know what you think about the work that the Reader is doing. I have talked to a few chat chimers that weren't very trusting of any of the newspapers out here, including the Reader, until we told them that these are our partners, the people we're working with. You guys have been able to see the reporters that, when we have them on Mondays. And a few people told me they've been picking up Readers now because of that, and got some subscriptions and everything else too. So, and it's a good timing because the Reader did change over a lot with this Disinvested series is new, but just them diving into the issues at all on the Reader is new, because before COVID, they were pretty much a newspaper that just showed you, it was culture paper. What was going on this weekend, what shows are coming out, so on and so forth. They didn't really deep dive. So when COVID hit, and they said there's no way that we can continue this paper without talking about COVID. If we're going to talk about COVID, let's talk about all the issues. And then they started bringing on folks and deep diving, and we were right there in the beginning of some of that. So definitely, if you haven't picked up a Reader, definitely check it out. Excuse me, they're doing really good work, and we're going to continue to work with them and try to expand all of that. So there you go. Check it out. Let us know what you think of it. Let us know what your experience is with the Reader, and if you check it out too, that'd be great. 7:33 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we already have one of our special guests sitting in the wings, and we're gonna bring her in right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are now politicking with P. Precious McKesson in the house. Good morning, good morning, good morning on this International Women's Day. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good.
Drinking my little protein shake, but I'm good.
Health as well.
Look, got my little hydration over here, so I'm good.
Yeah, check
Gotta
you
stay,
out.
Hydrated.
You going to the gym?
As soon as we get done.
Paul already know.
Hey man, if you get up drinking protein shakes and water, you going to the gym next.
Health as well. Hey,
baby, I'm gonna be out here slim, fit, and thick.
Hey, getting the beach body ready.
She said she gonna be slim thick. I heard that.
Right near the beach.
Because y'all know I can't get slim because I'll be looking like some heroin on me. So I gotta keep jumping on me.
Oh yeah.
Don't do
some
that.
healthy weight.
Well, the ancestor weight.
I appreciate you, my hero on that. I'm definitely, I need all the inspiration I can get to get back out here, get active. So I appreciate watching you get going on. That's what's up.
Yeah, Paul.
I'm trying.
You're looking good too. I was thinking that when we went out to dinner that night, I was like, she been at the gym, getting toned up.
I've been trying to cut back and stop eating all those all those extra snacks and stuff, and and then this job can be stressful. So look here, y'all ain't gonna be running no ad at the same time y'all running my obituary. I'm about to get myself together.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Really though, working out is a good stress reliever. A lot of people, say that they, even if they don't feel like going working out, after they do it, they do feel lighter. So self-care.
I mean, yeah, and especially when you get up at 4:00 in the morning and you see like certain tweets and comments,
yeah,
and you be like, he's like, you know what? Just let me go about my business. But yeah, and I've been having a good experience. I didn't have no creep squads at the gym, so I'm good.
Oh God.
Well, we ain't gonna ask you which gym you go to, so you can keep that.
Keep
vibe happening. I appreciate you. You sitting there talking about cutting out the snacks, and I was thinking to myself, I done cut out the meals. That's all I do is snack all day now. I'm exactly the opposite.
But I will say last night, y'all got to go get it. That Omaha mix from Still Poppin'.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I already know.
Baby, I was watching the Real Housewives, no Basketball Wives, and drinking my water and eating that popcorn. And I had cheese all over my hands. I was like,
he was in heaven.
I was in heaven watching their drama and eating. I said,
hey, the pleasures, the simple things in life.
Hey, I just heard something. You just reminded me of something. Basketball Wives on BET, right?
VH1.
Oh, VH1. Check this out, bro. I just heard that Tyler Perry and Brian, what's the other cat's name?
Brian, the one who bought
Byron.
They're about to buy. They're about to buy BET.
Byron, they're in a bidding war right now to buy BET and VH1. They're in a bidding war.
I hope they don't get rid of all my good shows, though.
Oh, bitch. I doubt it. I'm just like, this is one of the first times I'm like, we gonna win either way. Byron Allen gets it or Tyler Perry gets it.
Byron Allen already bought the other one when he won that big lawsuit. I can't say share the wealth because they both rich, but dang,
right.
Can I at least get a consulting job to help you out? Like,
that's the point. That's the point. You know how many black folks that Byron Allen and Tyler Perry employ? That's they employ
man.
Like political and government engagement.
Well,
that's the thing.
Byron Allen especially should, since he's up there lobbying all the time. He really
right. Tyler Perry, Tyler.
No, Tyler is definitely making, like, he's almost single-handedly like employing a third of the city with his studio down here.
Yeah.
Like it,
on a former plantation. That's what's up.
I'll come.
So I was just so first of all, I was excited because I was like, oh, that means BET might be black again. Number one.
There you go.
Number two, either one of them cast buy it. They're in a bidding war right now. So whoever wins that war, it's like we gonna win either way.
Well, let's get into some tea with BET. So yesterday, we politicking with people. We always keep it 100. I was listening to Deborah Lee. She did an interview on Good Morning America, and she said that she had an affair with Bob Johnson it was in the first 10 years of her of being there, and that when they were both married, and then they both got divorced. So then they started dating each other publicly. People in the office knew, but then when she wanted to quit her job, he would hold it over her head, and then when he left, she became the CEO. I can't wait to get that book.
Oh man. It sounds like they need a reality TV show about that drama.
Right.
That's Bob Johnson right here.
Well, like I said, I hope so. I hope it gets black again. That's all I want. I want BET to go black again. That's all I'm saying.
Go black
back to black.
Blackity black. Hey, before we jump into politicking with you real quick, I want to shout out to Mark Manor, because Mark Manor is one of the newest members of the Reader team as well. One of the newest and the oldest. He used to write for the Reader a long time ago. He said, not deep investigative stuff, but my story on Snake Lucci I think goes online today and in print this month. Local rapper I've been enjoying. So there you go, man. You know, like, and this is one of the things, man. I was really hoping that we can talk Mark back into writing, because he's one of the best music writers. He is the best music writer as far as I'm concerned in the Midwest. So to have him back on the reader too, like really deep diving into stuff, check it out, man. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Like here we are now. There's a rapper that I haven't heard of that I'm gonna have to jump into because I trust what Mark says about music. You know what I mean?
Local cat too.
Right. So and music writers in the past wasn't really on the north side seeing who the rappers were and stuff. You know what I mean? So very significant to me. I just wanted to
and don't forget we got some good women rappers in the city, y'all.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Thailand.
Man. I mean, there's a lot of talent out here, man. There's a lot of talent.
A lot of gems, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Mama God in the chat says. Tyler Perry just paid taxes for folks in neighborhoods because the studio caused their real estate taxes to increase.
Look at that generational wealth, because now that they taxes increase, the value of their homes increase. Okay, Tyler.
But it didn't fall in their pockets. Tyler went and took care of that, thinking of everything.
And he took care of a senior. Did he pay like a senior citizen home or something, buddy? Like something for some seniors? Yeah, Tyler reinvests his money. But so I
you trying to get over the studio over there, huh? That's what's up. Hey, you know what we ought to do? We ought to petition them and be like, hey, y'all need some First Sky Omaha. You need some First Sky news out of Atlanta.
Hey.
And we'll bring the whole squad over.
We'll make it happen.
First Sky Atlanta in the house is going down. So anyway, yeah, we all want to go work for Tyler Perry, especially if he buys BET. I'm having a funk show on BET, bro. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna manifest.
I got some shows we can pitch. Oh, baby, because it'll look.
All right, let's hold on to that. We on air. We on air. Let's hold on to the ideas. Y'all spilling the beans.
I forgot. People like to steal ideas. I forgot.
Hey, this is family. Yeah. This is family around here. This is family. We can talk.
But it ain't all family, but we got new family. You know, when they bring the new girlfriend to the dinner, you gotta vet them in. You know.
We'll see what Big Mama got to say about her first. That happened to me once. My grandfather had the big house out in California, and all the cousins we bring our girlfriends. I brought mine one time, and my grandma was just like, that's all she had to say. She didn't even have to say nothing. Just, and then if she left, she came back and says, "Listen, don't nobody come to nobody's grandma's house and lay up on the couch like that with her legs all up on you. That was just disrespectful." So that told me everything I needed to know.
No! Oh yeah, she lucky. See, she lucky it was in my grandma. See, because my grandma was cut from the deep woods of Fort Coffee, Oklahoma. My grandma, man, look here, little hot tail heifer. Her feelings would have been hurt.
Yep.
And then she would have put salt on outside the doorstep when she left. She was like, "We found those demons in here with her."
Not the song.
Demons out of here. Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh man. Yeah, you know, I'm glad we spoke on that. I wanted to speak on my grandmother today because excuse me, my grandmother on my dad's side, Pop's mom, to me she taught me the strength of a woman like I've never understood. I'm lucky to have understood because of her. She said she used to tell me about how when she was younger, she used to try to buck up a little bit, and Grandpa was like, "I'm the man around here. You ain't gonna do that." And so she said she dropped right back into what she had learned from her ancestors on how on woman's power. And really, on this International Women's Day, I'd like to speak on it because my grandmother all my grandmother had to do was be like,
that silence.
You don't want to. The power was not wanting to disappoint her at all. And if she had to speak on something, you was traumatized for the next 2 days. Even if it was just like, listen, that's not nothing you supposed to be doing, so just don't do that. And that's all, stuff like that, man. Like I've learned a lot. I learned a lot, and now I can recognize it everywhere. I recognize it with my mom, my grandmother, her mom. You know what I'm saying? So it's a really interesting thing to try to explain sometimes to young folks about the power, about what women's power where it comes from. Is somewhere it's a cosmic thing, physical thing. It's a cosmic thing, spiritual thing.
I was blessed. Like I tell people this, and people like, oh my gosh, I was blessed to have my grandmother, my great grandmother, and my great grandmother's mother, all three, plus my grandfather's mother.
Wow. Okay.
Blessings to have 4 women, and I got to, and I didn't lose the last one until I was in my 30s. And baby, let me tell you, me and my grandmother, we had a very good relationship. Like my grandmother was like, I felt I was one of the girls. She had 3 daughters, but she had me. I was one of the girls. And so I was like, look here, like y'all not about to put me out the group. I'm the oldest grandchild. And so me and my grandmother, we talked every day. My grandmother was a housekeeper at Bergen Mercy for many years. And I tell people, like, you never knew the struggle, never knew. When my grandmother passed, we found a paycheck stub. My grandma was making like $10 an hour, but you would have never known how much money she was making. And she worked there for almost over 25 years. Would have never known, because she made sure every Sunday, she made sure that we had family dinner, and we all, holidays, like we learned so much. Like I literally can make certain dishes and I don't even have to have the recipe and know how much you just know. And it's like when people say your ancestors whisper to you and say that's enough. That's enough. Like and then you go to your mom and be like, taste it, and she'd be like, yes, that's what it is. So I was blessed to have my grandmother. My grandmother was like, she was like the most raw, uncut, unfiltered. Baby, I loved everything about it. I wanted to be all up in the mix. Like everybody knew if I was at the house, I knew what was going on. So they didn't go ask her; they'll call me. I was spill the tea.
You give all the info out. I love it. Well,
and she never got mad at me spilling the tea.
Right, she knew what you put your role was.
Learn well.
The little journalist was in the house.
Wanda Lewis said, "Folks don't even make $10 nowadays." Yeah, it's a trip. Good morning to you, Wanda Lewis. I saw you say good morning earlier. I didn't say good morning to you. Appreciate you.
Right, Miss Wanda. Yeah, and people are struggling, and that's why I've always appreciated the workers, our frontline workers. Even when I lived in Alabama, I worked at a hospital. I worked at a housekeeping company, and I was the human resources assistant. And when you have these big wigs that own, like, especially in Alabama, and it's all Black housekeepers, and you have these big wigs from Clearwater, Florida, who are running things, making all this money from these hospital contracts, and then you have a Black girl from Nebraska, and they didn't realize, like, I could relate to why to our staff. And I think sometimes it was a hindrance, because I understood, these were people who some of them didn't even have high school educations, and they were coming from really, really, really torn communities and poverty to come to a hospital on top of a hill in a rich area to clean the hospital. But I always made sure my housekeepers, I never charged them for their uniforms. And then when they try to push insurance on them, I said, why y'all trying to push healthcare insurance on them, knowing that that's going to take majority of their paycheck when we know that they qualify for assistance? So I would tell them, I'd be like, come on, let's go down here to social services next week, and we're going to get you some assistance, and knowing that they could still qualify for government assistance. I knew they didn't make much, but again, no one told them that. No one put the extra effort into it. So there are certain things that we have to do as women, and that's where that strength comes in. Like, we have to be able to take care of those others and stuff. So
yeah,
definitely.
That's the thing, y'all. Don't just take care of yourselves. You take care of everybody in the house.
I was going to say, almost to the point where, they tend to not take care of themselves. You know what I mean? So busy taking care of others that, they just pour and pour and pour and pour from their own cup.
We forget as women sometimes, but, we have to, that's something that's the power of being a woman. There's things that we take on, but we have to remind ourselves. And that's why you surround yourself with good people, to remind yourselves to take care of yourself too. Because again, if you're no good, you can't be good for nobody else. So I always remember to tell myself that.
Can't pour from an empty cup. Yeah, gotta take care of yourself. So glad to know you in the gym, getting it right, getting it tight. Take care.
Yeah, that's what's up. And we're glad to know, and we're glad that you come on here too. We really can. Yeah, this show, me and Buddy, every time we started this show with Michelle Trosclair, coming on with us every day. You know what I mean? And then when we dropped to 3 days a week, we did that for a little while. Her schedule wouldn't allow her to come on, but we just every single time we get into this position, me and Buddy go, "It's more feminine energy in here, bro. This is it can't just be us all the time. Like we gotta." You know what I'm saying? So we really, really, really value you and Kimara coming on every week, and just in a real way. Like we gotta have some contact. We miss Michelle too. We want to keep on trying to work with Michelle and have her do some other stuff coming in. Always brings the context. Always brings the always ties the things together. Always
Yes.
It's just great, and it's and I kind of am very appreciative of the generation I grew up in, where we can we can get down with that in a big way. Like I ain't never had no problem with a woman being a boss. I never had no problem with none of it. I feel I can see it, and it could just be from the family. I could just be privileged coming from the family I came from, where we honored our grandmothers and our mothers, and they were very very powerful women. And everything else. It could just be the appreciation that a black man has for his mama. It could be simple as that. You know what I mean?
It can, but sometimes we have to remember, we can't always. I had somebody tell me this, and it's kind of funny because I come in very strong because, again, a dominant in this field. You can't be like rule. Can nobody run over you? But I had a man tell me, he was like, when you walk in the house, your power that you have, that is what you do for a living. You come into the home. You don't have to be. You could be soft. You don't have to be. Ugh. So, yeah, it works.
Okay.
It's that balance. You need it.
Yeah, basically, he said basically he said leave that power trip leave that out there. You ain't telling me what to do.
Yeah, hey, personal relationships, something else. But
I'm gonna leave it there.
I'm gonna leave it there because people be having some weird needs, bro. Sometimes, I know some dudes need a woman to come in and keep on hollering at them. So whatever y'all need personally, I don't know, but I do always want to make sure that I have a safe space for a woman, any woman that I know is around me needs to do whatever she needs to do, soft or hard. She can come in and do it around me. And I've always, people tell me this and remind me this all the time too, and I don't even think about it, but it's always like a protective thing. I'm always protecting. I go into protector mode all the time, and sometimes friends of mine say, feel really safe when you're around. I feel pretty safe when we're out, and that reminds me that I'm kind of just naturally doing that.
Guys, I'm sorry, my hat keep.
No, you good. But it's important, Paul, man, especially with some of the bills coming out and some of the laws that they trying to change, man. It's not always the safest out there, man. We gotta. What she bringing out the shirt? What's it say?
The uterus
has this uterus has a body with a brain that can make its own decisions.
There you go. There you go.
all the statement shirts. I love it. I love it.
Right. Need I say more?
Look, it is a lot of laws that are impacting women, especially, it's like, so we're getting the Politicin because we had a little look, we sidetracked for the minute there. But anyway,
you see how I brought us back. You see how I brought us back.
We have so many bills that are impacting us, and it's kind of weird because and I was listening to some people last night, somebody last night, and it kind of brought a point. We have LB 77 who says anybody can carry a gun. Anybody, and I know that Senator Wayne and Senator McKinney are supporting that bill. I know that there's some parameters in there that they feel like they have to, that if they don't support, especially when it comes to Black and brown communities and the disparities and the disproportionate arrest, that if they didn't support, they know it's basically, I feel like it's like little loopholes to say, well, you support this and it's going to give your community some relief. But on the other hand, but anyways, so it's funny how they can say anybody can carry and conceal and carry a gun. And we know that the crime is high. Guns kill. But if everybody can just carry a gun, why can't I have a choice of what to do with my body? So these white men want to say, hey, we want to give anybody in this world a gun, in the state of Nebraska, a gun, and just free willy-nilly. But then I can't go take care of the woman, the needs of I need as a woman. I can't have a choice. I just don't get it. These same white men don't care about the killing of Black kids, but they care about what we got going on, what women got going on with their bodies. And please don't, and I'm not being, this is Precious McKesson, and this is Precious McKesson's opinions. These are the opinions of her own. These are my opinions. This is how I feel. I shouldn't have old white men telling me what I could do with my body. Anybody, no one should be telling us what we can do with our body. These are our bodies. So now they control us. Now they're trying to control us. And we know that. So look at situations. We in this state, if something happens, we know that a young lady that lives in that, like Ms. Wanda said, may not make $10 an hour, has a situation and becomes pregnant, and she decides, this is not my time. This is just not my time. Yes, I know the consequences of what I've done, but this is not my time. The struggle that she's going to have to be able to receive resources, she may not be able to go out of the state because financially it's strapped. But then you look at other women who are in a different tax bracket and who don't look like her can easily have access to be able to do that. So it's really not fair to have these men and these women and these with privilege making decisions that are based, but then can say anybody can carry a gun.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times
it's like you want us to have all these babies. You want people to keep having these black babies so that then people who have guns can kill them all. I'm just keeping it 100. That's how I look at it. And I'm not saying that crime is only committed by people who don't look like me. Crime is committed by everybody. So don't try to say it's not a black and white thing. Like, I'm not saying white people kill black people. Everybody, there's a lot of people that kill. There's black on black crime. There's every crime I understand that. But still, give us a choice. It's our right. It's our body. Mind your business. Tell them to go snip their stuff and see what happens. Make it a requirement. Trust and believe. We'll line up some bags of ice and frozen vegetables for them. so they can heal their little wound. But they want to tell us what to do. But they out here being able to do what they do.
Yeah. On top of that, no resources for families.
And you got drunk through hoops just to go through the Department of Health and Human Services. You make $2 too much, you can't get assistance. But y'all want to make people have, again, I do understand I will say we do, as women, we do have to be responsible. We have a right. Men, you have to be responsible also. But still, I have a choice. If I want to have fun and something happen, it's my choice what to do after that, not yours.
Well, like I said, I always, every time we get into this issue, I don't really say too much. I'll let the women speak on what you want to speak on this. I know that the other ways that other people think about it is that you're taking a baby's life, and that's the reason why they assert themselves in there. And then when I talk to my women friends are saying this is not about that. We changing the context of the conversation here, because really what we're talking about is body anonymity. We're really talking about the control of women's bodies, right? And and that just reminds me about how nuanced and deep the issue is, and the reason why people act the way they act and think the way they think. We also are in a situation here in Nebraska, in North Omaha, as a matter of fact, where we got a lot of religious folks that are not about, that sometimes align themselves up with the conservative party sometimes because of the fact that they are against abortions.
It is, but then I just want to give a little background why I speak how I feel the way I feel. When I was pregnant with my daughter, in Alabama, I was 24. Yeah, 24. And I had a case of severe hyperemesis, which meant that I just threw up every day, like literally for every day. Like I was so sick. And I literally went, and I'll never forget, I went from a size 12 to a size 8 in 30 days due to how sick I was. Dang. And I was in the hospital for 2 to 3 weeks in Alabama. And I'll never forget the doctor who was talking to me, because again, I was at this hospital, in the hospital I worked at. I was at the hospital in this hill, in this real nice, ritzy area. And I'll never forget her telling me, "Precious, you have choices." Because I was so sick. We didn't know if I was gonna be able to carry it to term. And I made that choice. I said, no, I was like, I want to fight this, and because I knew that I could figure it out. So then I ended up moving back here to Omaha. And when I got here, I ended up meeting the doctor here ended up putting me on a PICC line. So I walked around with a PICC line in my arm until December of 2003, and I didn't have my daughter until January of 2004. So I was sick the whole entire time, like hooking myself with IVs, hydration bags, giving myself Zofran, being able to be able to eat. At least people, I wore a belt until my 9th month. No one knew I was pregnant. Literally, I came back to work the next 2 weeks later. I was like, "Oh, I had a baby." The people were like, "What?" Like some of the customers. But she gave me a choice. She let me know my options. And I feel that that is what she is supposed to do when it comes to either to save a life of a mother or a child. But then I made the decision to say, no, I want to go through this pregnancy and have this child, knowing the complications that I was having. So that's why I speak so passionate about it, or why I feel the way I feel about it, because I had that choice, but then I had a doctor who gave me that option. And I always feel that anytime we're talking, the choice of a woman's health should be between her doctor, her family, and her faith. That is that's her choice. It should not be made up by people in the government.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that. I think the government needs to stay out of a few things here when it comes to this. I just actually heard a radio show, a article on the radio this morning where they were saying that some doctors down in Texas are having a tough time now. There's somebody that's getting ready to sue the government or sue the city there because doctors are too scared to even give a recommendation on anything when it comes to exactly the situation you're talking about, where she's about to die. She could have died from this pregnancy, and her and her doctor are not really able to make that decision because of the laws that's changed there now. So like I said, it's just another example of how nuanced and deep this whole situation and conversation is, and how many places that you can go with it. You can spend a whole show just talking about the medical side and what doctors can and can't do.
So to segue that in, so that means, just let y'all know, tomorrow, Thursday, tomorrow, we will be in Lincoln with IB Black Girl. It is the IB Black Girl Lobby Day, and a lot of Black women, Black children, physicians will be down in Lincoln lobbying for Black maternal health, because again, we know what we go through, and we can speak from our experiences. And just remember, we don't have representation other than Senator Wayne and Senator McKinney, but we have the women representation, but we don't have a Black woman's perspective of what we go through. And so for us to be able to head down to Lincoln tomorrow and lobby for that is what means a lot to me. So I will be down there lobbying with the women, because this means a lot to me. It's personal to me. It's every day, I have a daughter myself, I have a Black daughter, and I have to make sure that I'm protecting her rights also. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. So, if you want to follow us down there, or if you want to pop up, definitely come down there. And also tomorrow is the hearing for appropriations. And, so we have to say, Kimara's in there. Bring on Kimara. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna bring her in. Before we do that, though, I want to jump in the chat. Chat's real thick this morning. I appreciate it very much. Pop says Precious and her shirts are too funny. He like also Miss Erica Fell says because we're women, they really don't want us having guns either.
That part.
Miss Erica Fell says that's just it. I haven't seen a single woman that low income testify for abortion. So I definitely gotta rally there. Whitney Richardson says facts. Whitney Richardson in the house. Good morning. Appreciate you. Leah Keisha says preach. Stacey Jean says rich women will always have access to the best health care. It's the poor women who will suffer, for sure. Miss Erica Felt was talking about TANF earlier. She said, again, TANF gives a single woman with one child $408 a month for rent, hygiene, diapers, for everything.
Man, it's not enough.
Nothing. Marianne Williams says, if the life of a fetus is valued as people say, where's the guaranteed prenatal care? Where's the child support if mom is on bed rest and can't work? Doesn't add up.
That's my thoughts.
Miss Erica Feld also says, my mother was disgustingly abused every day because abortion wasn't an option for her mother. She was married, so adoption wasn't a discussion. Perspective. Whitney Richardson also says, pregnancy and postpartum care is so life-affecting, physically, mentally, and emotionally intense that every woman should choose it.
I mean, your body goes through literally you're the closest to death when you're giving birth.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And Black women die at high rates giving birth because of the lack of care that they give us. We have normally blood clots, we have extra bleeding. Like, let's keep it 100. Like, that's the closest time the closest thing to death, other than death, is giving life. And
the black families know this, and it takes stuff like what happened to Serena Williams to remind the rest of the world what happens to Black. You can be Serena Williams.
I had a Black OBGYN, a Black doctor. My doctor was Black, and let me tell you, Dr. Gordon, she made sure I was straight. Look here, shoot, she was on it.
I heard
I
that.
appreciate that woman.
Well, speaking of making sure that people are straight, we got Kimara Snipes. What's good in the hood? She's always making sure the neighborhoods are straight. Kimara Snipes in the house. Good morning to you. How you doing?
Hey.
I'm good up here in lovely, wonderful South Sioux City.
Okay.
What you doing?
How y'all doing?
What you doing up there?
Actually, through my job, I have an organizer placed up here with the nonprofit. So came up here to work with him on some of his goals, but we're also establishing some benchmarks through a process that I use for 2024 organizing plan. We start now. There's no way.
Hey, you got to.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump back into the chat here real quick. We're on the subject of sorry about that, y'all. We're in the subject right now, talking about some of the things that we're gonna go down and try and handle tomorrow. So we wanted to build up to this because of the fact that there's some bills that we want to make sure that we get down and support tomorrow. And also, I forgot about the IB Black Girl rally that's happening tomorrow as well. So tomorrow's just a day that we need to think about getting down to Lincoln.
Baby, we're going to get deeper out in Lincoln tomorrow. We're going to double the size of all the black folks.
Hey, make it a thing. Make it a day. Make it a day.
Double the black population in Lincoln tomorrow.
Yeah. No, not double the population, because there's some black folks in Lincoln. We talk about the capital.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's what's up.
I need my Lincoln people coming for me now, Paul. Come on now.
Yeah, they out there too. We see y'all. Yeah,
we trying to connect with them too, for sure. We need a Lincoln Omaha connection in a big way,
for sure.
Especially with what we're talking about doing tomorrow, going down to the Capitol and stuff like that, man. I would love to set up some stuff with some Lincoln warriors as well. Make it a day. Go find some black-owned restaurant to eat lunch at. Hang out.
There's a soul food restaurant down there.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. There's a black vegan restaurant down there too. There's a bunch of stuff happening. So if we can kind of make that a thing where we we feel good enough to go down there and connect with the Lincoln brothers and sisters and make it a day, especially when we got stuff to do.
I'll send you some contacts, Paul.
That's what's up. Appreciate that. Back on that subject real quick. Mark Manor said, aren't some states talking about tracking menstrual data? That is 100% control, not religious beliefs.
What?
Look here, bro. I don't even know how to track it still.
I was about to say.
It. Look here, I just go off my mood. Oh, Jesus, my mood, man.
She's like, ain't no X's on my counter. I don't even know how to count it.
I don't know the last time I don't even know, was it 28 days, 25 days? I don't even know.
Hey,
I'm about to be 44.
Let the GOP tell you then. Let them
tell you. What they gonna do? Text you? It's gonna be like a notification system.
They gonna say, "Hello, Precious, is your congressman. Can you please check in this month?"
This is Don Bacon. It's about to go on you right now. Your friend Inflow is coming today.
Rick, is that the kind of Don Bacon call you want? Is that?
Let me jump in the chat. Rick Fulton says, I want to head down to Lincoln to see my good buddies Wayne and McKinney and Hilgers, but I'm not going down there to argue for something I don't know about. All right, that's what we're here to try to.
Yeah, well, don't do that.
I mean, you can go see Wayne McKinney, but Hilgers.
Ariel's 402 says, when does the father's right start? If a woman wants to have an abortion, the man has what rights? Question mark.
When he signs and says,
hold on, let me finish this. Yeah, he says if she has the child and the father doesn't want to be one, he is still held accountable.
When he can sign a contract and say he's gonna take care of the child until they're 30 years old and pay child support instead until 19, then he can say something. Until then.
Father's rights. I don't want to gloss over that idea. I think a lot of people think about what father's rights are. Of course, I have always been the proponent of your stuff starts when you're getting ready to do the thing in the first place.
It
does. You see, I ain't got no kids running around here, so I made the decision beforehand not to not.
And I think, I'm being, and I was being funny when I said that Ariel's 402. I was being funny about it. But I do feel that if a father has to be contacted, honestly, if for some reason, like I'll say this, for instance, when you have to if you change your name, if a mother goes in to change the name of a child, and she has to notify the father, and then if she doesn't know, if she says I can't contact him, then it has to run in the newspaper for 30 days. And in the news, it has to run. You have to have some type of public publication.
You know that.
I do feel that a man should have, be able to say, but then I feel like he needs to sign and say that if she has a baby, she don't want the baby, that he's taking full responsibility and is relinquishing her of all her rights. I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard decision, but it's the woman's body. But again, you both make that decision when you
get together in the first place, right? The conversation is beyond the scope of this show at this moment. It is too deep and complex and nuanced and everything else. But I encourage everybody to put out there what it is they do think and believe about it, so we can stimulate the conversation. Ms. Erica Fell says, my grandmother tried to self-abort my mother with many different methods that didn't work. She told my mother regularly that she tried to kill her, and maybe that night would be when she was successful. She's successful. Women need choices. Oof. And some help as well. I mean, that's deep. Yeah, moving on, Mr. Eric Fell says a man can choose to not have sex. That's where I'm coming from. He can make sure he's using the condom correctly. He can get a vasectomy. Men have choices. There's some men birth control that's about to drop too. That's really be successful. Yep.
You said it's gonna be successful.
They're saying that it's been the tests have been successful. And
who they tested on?
Men, I guess. I don't know.
We want to see the data. Who y'all test this on?
I'm not touching that one.
I don't know who they tested it on yet. All I'm saying,
black men. Let's see who they tested this on.
Ooh. Tuskegee birth control experiments. Let me move on. Blackity Black says, what time in Lincoln tomorrow? There's snow expected tomorrow, so prepare to get out early. We'll look and see what the forecast is. I did hear there's going to be 2 to 5 tomorrow at some point. Tess Patricia is the name that I'm not familiar with.
Hello.
She said, good to have a conversation about what you all would do in case of accidental pregnancy before it happens. That's between the couple. That's what I'm talking about for sure. Ms. Eric Fell says, we can't trust men to use condoms correctly. I'm sure not trusting them to take a daily pill. Well, like I said, man, it kind of depends on what to do. What are you trying to do? I'm not trying to have no babies all around town. So that's just me though. So I don't know. I know women I can't trust that ain't gonna be trying to, like, hey. When we start talking about between the couple, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm done talking, because that's really
that's between y'all.
My name is Paul. That's between y'all. That's all I'm saying. Kimara, I know that you over there like, what are y'all talking about?
I'm like, they could have just waited.
Yeah.
I could have still been working.
My bad. We're gonna jump to you. I know that you got a lot to say about. We also got some stories about the education that we wanted to hear from you on as well today. The GOP has really been trying to take over the school board and everything, and they didn't get a whole lot of support, fortunately. It seems like their little efforts got shut down. Did you know anything about this, or were you out there part of it? Okay,
I did not.
You mean LB 753? You mean the bill they're talking about right now, Paul?
I know
LB 690.
I can't remember which one is which. What were you gonna say, Kimara?
I can't remember. I know that there's a school voucher debate going on this week.
School voucher, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I read a little bit about this earlier, and I tried to pull a few things. I pulled a couple of articles this morning that was kind of the moral of the story was that there was a big effort from Republicans to take over education, and one of the bills had to do with them trying to take over the school board. Didn't get a lot of support. One article was that nobody showed up in to help that.
It's the State Board of Education. They were trying to take over the State Board of Education. Yeah.
Apparently, there's 4 legislative proposals aimed at curbing the powers of the state board. Legislative Resolution 24CA, and then also LB 690 are a few of them. Also, legislative resolution 28CA.
What's her name on from the state board? Jacqueline
Mm-hmm.
Morris, who also works for the mayor.
So my question to you, Kimara, when you were really involved with education, did you see any of this stuff ramping up?
In hindsight, at the time, I didn't think about it like that. But now that, much more has transpired since, I think we kind of did. I think this has been sort of a process. And I think that they've been kind of, well, I was going to say building the plane as they fly it. But, these Republicans seem to be pretty strategic. And so I think it's been part of a plan that has kind of been being built since about 2020. I definitely saw a lot of, people were coming out in droves, highly opinionated about education, about CRT, about COVID. So I think it's been sort of a natural progression into what we're seeing now.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of feeling. I'm glad you solidified that for me.
That was a reason. That was another reason. Like when I was at the Department of Education, when I realized that these bills were, and that was the main reason why I wanted to leave, because I felt like I couldn't have a voice. And then after I got pinned as a CRT activist, I was like, what? How? And I feel like, and then you start to see the momentum. But I think after 2020, we knew in the next 2 years, they were going to come for the school boards and it was coming for the legislature, because especially after the electoral, they wanted to be able to turn over elections. And then they wanted to have control of the school boards of what was being taught to our kids. So they definitely mobilized after 2020. They started to mobilize, but they mobilized in a way that was very, they did it really big. They did it really big and really quiet. Yeah, very aggressively. Yeah, very aggressive.
It's interesting to me to watch that whole process too. But we've been doing this for 2 years. So what is this? 2023? Is this? Are we in 2020? I don't know nothing about the year.
Yeah. We kind of started first guy in 2021, like January.
Yeah. So we've been watching this stuff happen, and of course we reported on when Pete Ricketts was trying to take over he was trying to take over the board as well, and then he appointed somebody in the whole thing, and we know that was going to trickle down to Pillen. So it keeps on making me just want to praise journalism, because 1619 Project jacked up everybody's. These folks is backlashing over a news article that came out of New York Times. They backlashing so hard that they have done the 1,000 monkey thing, and everybody's on the same page with in every state trying to take over education and make it so that the governor has to appoint people to head up the education. Like the war on education is something we've been covering ever since the Mine and Soul days. So it's really interesting to see how the bigger picture there, how nervous everybody is about what their kids are being taught in school, and all these bills and everything that's going towards them doing stuff like banning books and not teaching about Martin Luther King and in certain states, and all kind of just craziness. Just what's going on in Florida, and how the kids are about to try to sue Florida over them taking out African American studies out of it's really insane. So when I was really nervous, because this is Nebraska, it was encouraging to find out that they're not getting a whole lot of support for this, for these four things.
1000% agreed.
Yeah. What we are trying to support though is the 1024 money that's supposed to be coming in North and South Omaha, and that now translates to one more session tomorrow. What is it, Bill? I keep on forgetting what it is.
786.
786. 785.
785. Yeah.
785 this tomorrow. Yep. 785. This is the again language cleaned up on that 1024 bill. We want to encourage people that if you can't make it up tomorrow, write your letters before noon today. We'll definitely put that. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say on that. I don't know if y'all know, there was a meeting on Sunday between North and South Omaha leaders. I was called. I was called on Saturday by Willie Hamilton and Preston Love, asking if I would put together a meeting between the senators and different leaders. I was not there. I sent the email out, but I was unable to attend because Sunday was my best friend's memorial for her daughter. But I did ask Don Preister to go. They told me it was weird. It was very weird. It was like, you can invite anybody you want from South Omaha. I was like, okay. So I invited Don Preister, who was on my leadership team for the South Omaha Neighborhood Alliance, because I trust him and I trust him to bring me back information. I'm still not sure everything that was discussed at the meeting, but apparently it was about unifying people who got money, who were going to not got money, who applied, and
who got recommended for funds.
Who got recommended for funding. And so I guess it was Tony Vargas, Terrell McKinney, I think Willie Barney was there, Willie Hamilton, Preston Love, people from South Omaha, I guess Itzel Lopez, Marcos Mora, Cesar Garcia. I can't recall who else, but I wanted to make sure that I shared that. So don't nobody come at me talking about some I ain't sharing information. So I'm just saying that because of what transpired this weekend on your page as well. But yeah, I thought it was kind of weird, but I guess it had a goal, and I'm still kind of processing it, I suppose. But I'm thinking about coming back early today so that I can go to Lincoln tomorrow. But, overall, the senators have been saying that if this money doesn't happen, it's going to end up in a lake in West Omaha. And that was the emphasis, I guess, for getting people together to make sure that North and South Omaha could be in a united front. I couldn't be there Tuesday, especially as someone who has been trying to get North and South Omaha together for ages. You know what I'm saying? When I say for ages, I mean for ages. And I will just say this, and people could take it how they want to. I think it's kind of janky that it takes $355 million to get North and South Omaha to come together. I'm gonna say it like that.
Why do you think it's janky?
We should come together, period. We should have been coming together as somebody, again, who has been active in North and South Omaha for years, literally since I was like a teenager. We should have been together. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad it's happening, but this is my personal opinion. And I just think that it always seems like it takes money to do something, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And I'm saying, can't we come together for something more than just that? We've been dealing with gun violence. We've been dealing with COVID. We've been dealing with much. And I've been trying to organize around these things. Don't forget, I created our first COVID-19 task force, and they were still separate. It was still North Omaha and still South Omaha, while we're out here dealing with the same things. That's what I'm saying. If people take it the wrong way, holler at me. We can sit down and have a conversation so I can clear that up for you. But this is how I feel.
That's valid.
Yeah, I think it's worth this. I think it's definitely worth discussion. I definitely think that North Omaha has different needs than South when it comes to certain subjects. I think
I'm not saying they're the same.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I'm thinking that there's definitely something worth talking about there, especially the part about the money situation. Like I know that's how things work, so I know that money is going to be a catalyst for everybody to get together and talk about what's going on with it. It's hard to solve anything without money, so I can kind of see why that is why they're doing what they're doing. I'm gonna just take it for what it is. I'm glad that everybody's trying to get together now on it, because it was very touch and go there about whether they were going to get together even on the money tip. Like in the beginning, they wasn't even trying to get together with the money coming in. They was trying to separate even further in those early meetings in a big way. So I gotta call it a win when just to see the two Willies standing up there together, Willie Barney and Willie Hamilton standing up there together. They all that last meeting in North Omaha, they all said that too. They were like, Justin Wayne was like, you ain't seen me over here.
To clarify, I think it's a great thing.
I'm sorry.
I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
It's just late.
I hear you. What I was saying was that I heard Justin Wayne say that he wasn't even messing with a Black Men United. He wasn't even messing with Willie Hamilton for a minute. And this has kind of brought them together on some things. So I'm saying I'd like to see the momentum get taken from this. If it's going to be $350 million that brings them together, cool. Now they're together. Let's take that and go do something with that togetherness. You know what I mean?
It's just too
my prayer.
It's just too much divide. And my thing is that when we got to do better, we say we want better for our community, but we're all separated in some way, shape, or form. It's like, have the conversation. If you offended somebody, just own it and just say, hey, this is what I did, you know. But again, I agree. It should not take money to bring us together, because at the end of the day, everything is going east and west, not north and south.
There you go. Wanda Lewis
Just
says,
look at all the development, east and west.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not north and south. So we got to come together. We got to. Now they want to build a streetcar going north and south. Why? Because we have said now they want to include us in their streetcar plans. Before then, they didn't care.
They still don't care. Justin Wayne was against the streetcar, and he said, okay, well, if y'all want a streetcar, then we need it north and south too. He's the one that proposed that.
I believe he just said north, though, just to clarify. He's for the streetcar.
I've seen the thing. The thing goes north to south, and then it
when
loops
he
back
has
around.
Talked about it. He has just said North Omaha.
Well, I think he was focused on that airport access because that complex. But anyway, so that that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to like understand. Just who's proposing what and why, and who's getting together. Wanda Lewis said, I had to say that people in South Omaha seem to do a better job of collaborating.
I would like to add to that, or not even add. I would actually like to say, I kind of thought that before COVID, and then trying to organize between North and South Omaha, and even since then, I kind of feel like North Omaha, you don't give yourself credit enough. I found trying to organize in both spaces, I think I had a much easier time, and people, even if they did not agree with each other, still were coming together. And this is my personal experience. And maybe it's because, I was trying to organize in South Omaha as a Black woman. I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. But, it seems to me like Latinos organizing. I'm sorry, I didn't let you finish your sentence. No, go ahead.
What was I gonna say? I forgot. I'm sorry.
I was just thinking that like the Latino brothers and sisters over there, they seem to gather together pretty strongly there. I was thinking maybe it's when you're trying to bring the Blacks in South Omaha and the Latinos in South Omaha. Like when you that seems to be like a little bit of like trouble getting together sometimes.
I wasn't trying to organize like Black people though with Latino people. I was just trying to organize leaders to get some communication going around COVID. I was the only Black person. Well, that happens often in South Omaha anyway. But I just found it easier to organize in North Omaha, even though I don't live in North Omaha.
Yeah. In the chat, Marianne Williams says, I was so disappointed over the lack of support for the bills addressing suspensions. It was to hear how many pre-K and kindergartners being suspended, mostly Black babies too.
Yep.
I'm glad you brought that up. This is definitely something Black Caucus signed up for. This is definitely something that we're trying to do something about now. And I just because we pull it out and say, hey, everybody go up to support a bill tomorrow, doesn't mean that everybody's going to do that. We putting it out there that we want, that this is a thing that we need to be doing. I think that we're always going to be mad at the lack of support on certain things. I remember Justin Wayne talking about this too. The voter bill, super sexy. Everybody shows up for that. Prison reform, not so much. Go ahead, Precious.
No. Finish what you're saying, because I was going to piggyback on that.
That was it. I was done.
Oh. So I had a conversation with Senator McKinney the other day, and I asked Senator McKinney what we need to be doing more, and he did say this. He said we need to be highlighting and talking about the bills that are not like the shiny objects, like the voter ID, different things. We need to be talking about the other bills that senators are doing that are impacting Black and brown communities, and giving those a platform, because it's not always the I'm the savior bills out here that people keep highlighting all the time in the media. And so he said, and then it shows that they're actually doing more work because people don't know how many bills they're actually working on. It's just the ones that we see in the media. So he was saying that, we need to do, was telling me when I asked him what, as I needed to do in my position, a better job of, as a leader in the work that we do in promoting and talking about those other small bills, because if we talk about those, then we will see people going in and testifying, and we know the other bills, because those are not there's more bills than just the ones that we see in the media.
Right. I mean, 800 some bills, something's gonna fall through the cracks, and something's gonna fall under the rug. I'm kind of
hold on. I think Kimara had it. Kimara, did you have a
I was just gonna add to that. As many people know, there was a Black Caucus meeting this weekend, and actually, that's something that did come up during the meeting. Pastor Janet Bakes from Lincoln is actually the chair of the Black Caucus. I don't hold any sort of officer position with the Black Caucus anymore, but Pastor Banks reached out and asked will we run the meeting this week, and that is something that came out of it, is setting up a way to keep in contact with our state senators, north, south, east, west, all over the state, actually, because Black Caucus is a statewide organization, to have conversations with them to talk about which bills we should be paying attention to. And so that is one thing that came out of the meeting. There are other things that came out of the meeting as well. And if anybody wants to hear about it, I'm more than happy to share.
Man, you just actually answered the question I was going to ask, as far as, we're kind of building the plane as we fly, and figuring out this civic engagement as a community, and it's gone from vote to now let's get down and support these bills. But how do we refine this? And you kind of answered the question. It's clear that it's so many bills. Just saying go out and support the bills is not enough. We need a strategy. We need some focus. We need to identify, even possibly before the sessions begin, like what areas, what's the thing that needs to be fixed as a community now? Like what is the priority as a community? And I guess the Black Caucus is a vehicle or a way to do just that. That's what I'm hearing.
So I just put the link in that Kimber just gave us. Looks like a form to fill out to join.
Let me make sure I made it public. I just made that this morning. I don't want nobody mad.
I clicked on it. It's there.
Buddy said he clicked on it. It's there. Is the application to join the Black Caucus, or was that what that?
To sign up for, like, I thought I was sitting this morning before I came on. I said, you know what? One quick way to alleviate some of this is just, if people want to sign up. You know what I'm saying? Because communication is a two-way thing. And I felt the brother who was in the chat somewhat that day, but something he said was about, don't put it on me to call anyone. And communication works two ways. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I forgot about that Black Caucus meeting. Hell, I had 2 funerals in the last week. I have another one this week, trying to get ready to go out of town, all this different stuff going on. And so, stuff happens, y'all. Can we allow some grace out here? Can we just allow some grace out here? So, this morning I was thinking about it, and being a problem solver, I guess, I was like, let's just make up another form. People are interested, they can fill it out, and we can just, get going and, pass the information along to the actual officers of the caucus and see what they want to do with it. And, I have these notes that I typed up. I could share those as well. But I just wanted to do something to try to improve communication.
So you just got up this morning and whip that on together real quick.
Gotta do something.
I do want to piggyback on that. As the executive director of the Nebraska Democratic Party, just to let you know, the Black Caucus does fall underneath the Nebraska Democratic Party and the bylaws that are created, even though they have their own bylaws also. And we do accept allies to be a part of the group, but you will not be considered a voting member.
And on the application, to ask if they're a registered Democrat.
Yes.
I used to be the chair of the caucus, and so I know that there's rules and stuff. And so it does say on there, are you a registered Democrat? Because that is a part of being a part of the Nebraska Democratic Black Caucus. But as Precious said, there's always allies, partners, whatever it is.
There you go. So as we're kind of navigating through this civic landscape, what is a caucus? What's the purpose of a caucus? Is it just a voting block, or what is that?
Oh, well, I'll read to you straight from the bylaws. The mission of the caucus shall be to promote the involvement of Blacks in the political process and the activities of the Democratic Party at the local, state, and national level. The caucus shall advocate for public policies which promote the needs of the Black community and the state at large. The caucus recognizes the need for inclusive representation throughout the Democratic Party and seeks to advance political participation among Blacks throughout the state. The purpose of this organization shall be to advance the highest principles of the Democratic Party as outlined in the state platform of the NDP, to foster and maintain truly democratic procedures in the Democratic Party, to support Democratic candidates of integrity, ability, and conviction for the public office and party positions, and to arouse and encourage active participation by all Democrats in the conduct of their party and their community. I will say that when I was chair, I added a caveat, maybe I shouldn't have, but I also said in my personal opinion, I base this off of, again, having a history with the party since 2006. I said I also kind of felt like the Black caucus also serves as sort of a shield for the Black community or the Democratic Black community, because, we have been traumatized by elected officials, by political process, by the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying any names or anyone in particular. I just mean historically, period. And so I also see the Black caucus as somewhat a sort of protective shield. Yeah.
Is there like a Republican Black caucus, or is there like something independent of?
I asked that before, and I feel like there was. I remember asking this when I was chair, because I was like, are there Republican?
There is. Yeah.
I don't know if there is in Nebraska, but there are.
But there is a Republican, and then there's also on the Congressional Black Caucus. There is also Black Republicans who are part of the Congressional Black Caucus. I mean, and you're actually talking to two former chairs of the Black Caucus. I mean, me and Kimara have both held that seat, and it is like a shield. I agree. I never looked at it like that. It is a shield. And sometimes there's things that sometimes we have experienced a lot of trauma. Just put it that way. If we could write a book, bad, we would be bestsellers.
Well, as a shield, do you feel like that's a resource that we haven't used enough as far as this whole formula of our civic power? I would say.
I think so. But go ahead, Kimara. Go ahead.
I think that's a twofold thing, right? I think that both sides could be better. I think we as a caucus could be. Well, ask your question again, but I want to make sure I answer it right.
As we're figuring out, what we can do civically as just everyday people, as a community, do you think we've used the caucus enough, or have leaned on the caucus enough?
But I also don't think that, even including when I was chair, I don't know how great a job we did of making sure everyone knows about the caucus, of making sure everyone knows what our purpose is, what we do, how we rock, how we roll. For a while, interest was increasing for a bit, but we've had COVID and all these different things. And so this weekend, I thought it was actually a really, really good meeting. Got a lot of positive feedback. And so, I think that we're paying attention more. I know Pastor Banks, she wants this caucus to be successful. And so I will do what I can. I know Precious will do what she can. She also has her role as executive director. And so I think this sign up form is a great place to start. I put some areas of interest on there. I think that, if we're just intentional and strategic and get enough people, because it takes bodies. I mean, again, we out here working full-time jobs. Some of us doing more than that, and so it just takes bodies, but also takes some grace. We're a Democratic Party Black caucus in Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? So just allow some grace, because
I hear that. It's about 8:38 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. If you're just joining us, you see that we are with Precious McKesson, Politicin with P, Kimara Snipes, what's good in the hood, put some respect on their names. Appreciate you guys for coming on and giving us your thoughts on these things. I want to end out here by us talking about what's going on tomorrow again, so that we can encourage everybody to go up. Also, if we're talking about McKinney's bill that's happening tomorrow. If you're going to write a letter because you can't go up, then you got to do it before noon today. And again, that is for Bill 7. I'm gonna get it right one of these days. 785.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the continuation of that 1024 bill. So we're still trying to get the money into the Black community. And the catalyst right now for this is the fact that if you don't, other senators are waiting in the wings to put that money to their pet projects that include things like $600 million lakes on the west side and so on and so forth. It seems to work to get people in the room together to remind people that this money could go away. So,
and I want to correct, it's not West Omaha where this lake will go, it's Western Nebraska.
Oh, wow. Okay, I thought it was
yeah, it's Western Nebraska.
Okay. So yeah, lots of senators that got pet projects everywhere that want to get their hands on this money, and I feel as if the infighting and stuff like that is kind of calmed down a lot. Everybody's kind of getting together and realizing these things and getting together and figuring out, yes, let's do all we can to support getting the money into the community, and then we can have further conversations on what to do with it afterwards.
Right.
But this is one of the ones. So LB 785. Write about your personal experience about it. If you got a business you want to start, how it would affect you being able to start your own personal business, what you want to contribute to the north side and the south side, the east side Omaha in general, and all the things, all the personal anecdotes and everything that you want to include in a letter if you go to write that, and it's got to be up there before noon. So we'll put the link of the legislative session, the legislative page in there that has that button that you can hit and write a letter, and do that before noon. But the biggest thing that we want to encourage is for people to go up and show up in force, be there in person. Go up and give your testimony and talk. If you don't want to give your testimony, just show up in person as a form of support. A few different things going on tomorrow, including that bill, because Precious here just reminded us about the I Be Black Girl rally that's happening tomorrow too. Can you tell us a little bit more about that too, Precious?
So tomorrow's I Be Black Girl Lobby Day. So the black doulas, Black women, Black young girls, films, it will just be down in Lincoln lobbying for Black maternal health, talking about bills that impact Black and brown women, trans women. It just talking about everything that is impacting us health wise. And so it's a good day to go and lobby for that. I won't testify because I have not testified in front of any other bills. And so I will be just there in support and just really showing that support for them. And yes, Kimara, I just saw your note. The LB 770 is very important to disabled. It's for my brother. I've been following that bill. We have to really, I just appreciate the fact that we have members like Kimara who are down there in Lincoln who are really telling us what's going on. For some who can't be down there, and so that we can follow those, because we have to. There's small bills that we're not seeing, but definitely tomorrow it's going to be a good day in Lincoln. A lot of support, and we have to just show the senators of Nebraska that we are fighting not just for the $350 million, but we're fighting for other things also, and our voices need to be heard. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow.
Appreciate it, and we're going to keep on asking people. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You can really get down. Just want to keep on encouraging people until we can get. I want to give a shout out to Marianne Williams too, who's always informing us and putting on Friends of First Sky Omaha about these bills, about the important things. She's listening to what it is that we're talking about, what we feel is important, and she does good work at putting bills on Friends of First Sky Omaha and encouraging us to go up there as well. Kimara, you do the same thing. Really appreciate you putting the bills out there and letting us know which ones that we need to be checking on as well. And we're going to keep on trying. I mean, I haven't been up there yet myself. I'm trying to work through my two full-time jobs to get myself down there. And so we're going to continue to try to encourage everybody to do that until we really have some strong, jump on Preston Love's bus and go up and have some vegan soul food from a spot and then go participate. Like Buddy said, it was always vote before, and now it's go up and participate. So we're adding on to the ask for our community engagement and civic engagement here. So we're going to continue to do that. Kimara says, let's see. She gives us more information about LB 770. Appreciate that very much. I put that in the chat as well. So that's about it, man. I just want to really, really get have you guys co-sign with me on being able to help people. Make sure that we encourage people to go up tomorrow and write letters and so on and so forth. You guys got some last words for us before we get out of here?
Can I just say that I sat down with Whitney Richardson last week, and my girl carried a notebook too.
Right.
Yeah.
She carries a notebook too, and it was such a great meeting and able to get her connected.
I'm glad,
and I'm looking forward to what she does. And I just want to shout out Nebraska Early Childhood Collaborative. I was talk about doing other things. I also do stuff on the side. And so I created a presentation on authentic allyship. And so I will be doing that for Nebraska Early Childhood Collaborative next week on Wednesday. And I am very, very excited because it came out of a conversation where I was talking about how, being an ally is not easy. You got folks out here who claim to be allies, but when the stuff go down, they just sitting there. And that's not being an ally. And so she was like, "Oh, would you come talk to my job about that?" I was like, "Does a bear have fur? Here I come." Yes, I will.
Hey, you remember when we had dinner at the spot over there, and you guys were talking about doing a round table with Michelle with women? I said Whitney Richardson needs to be the fourth on that. That would be I would watch that every week.
Talked, and I was just like, "You my soul sister."
That's what's up. Precious, you got some last words for us?
Man, I don't know. Either Kimara got my house bugged because I literally was going to end off with the allyship. That's what I didn't even know what she was going to say. But my that I'm ending with, and it's the piggyback off what Kimara said. As we continue the work that we're doing, and I know, like we said, we have our allies, be mindful of the words that you use. Especially on social media, because many are using words and language that is causing harm and causing trouble, and they don't realize it. And I saw one this morning, and I appreciate Marianne Williams. I just met her because of an ally conversation. And this morning, I'll just give a prime example. Miss Marianne had a comment and said that about LB 753. And it talked about why Terrell McKinney is supporting it in regard with his comments that he's made. And when he said, basically, if Black kids if it hasn't worked for Black kids, why can't they have a choice to see what else works for Black kids? Because it hasn't been working for Black children. And she said, and this woman commented back and said, hold on, because I gotta say exactly what she said.
Read this word.
I gotta read it because it offended me, because I felt like, wow. She said, so the comment was, public schools have historically failed Black kids, says McKinney. I feel morally wrong not considering something else. The North Omaha explained for his LB 753. This woman says someone needs to explain that this bill won't help his Black kids either.
Okay.
So my thing is, use your words, because he wasn't saying it was his Black kids, but you specifically his Black kids. Again, allies, y'all say y'all rocking with us. Be mindful of the words that you use. Be mindful of your language that you're using when you're speaking to us. And just remember, when they're talking about, they say their community. Yes, you might live in their community, but when they say their community, they're talking about the people that look like them. So that's what I'll end on. So love y'all all. Peace and blessings. Drink your water.
All right, appreciate y'all. Thank you so much on this International Women's Day. Love having two of my favorite women on, so I really, really appreciate you guys coming through. And we'll continue. We'll talk some more. And get some things done together. So appreciate y'all. Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there it is, the dynamic duo number 2. I guess we got a couple dynamic duo groups.
Yeah. The whole team dynamic. Squad.
Whole squad dynamic. I like that. I come from the squad called a whole squad dynamic. You got to say the whole thing called slip back. Goes down. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate y'all. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back into a lightning round of a couple little things before we get to the haps. You guys get your haps together. Really appreciate it. Before we go, Marianne Williams says, thanks, guys. It's hard to make it to the hearings, but we're lucky enough to have now to have the online option. It doesn't need to be long, just authentic. It all counts. reminding us. Let's go ahead, man. Go to that legislative page, hit that button, and drop a letter if you can't make it up there, and do both. I mean, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow if you can make it or not. But drop that letter today, and then try to make it in person tomorrow. We're going to keep on pushing that. We're going to keep on pushing that. She's online testimony doesn't need to be long.
Yep.
So just authentic. I like that a lot. So thank you very much. And like I said, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into some more news and lightning round before we get out of here. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Ghost Listeners, Chat Chimers. Stay tuned. Be right back.
Kaleidoscope junkies, monkeys tested, vivisected, neglected like art. Mr. Getty spent $1 billion to bring museums to the masses, but 1 billion kids in East LA can't afford to buy canvas. So this generation develops a new kind of art appreciation to how fast the cry line goes on in dark downtown stations. Stand around twisted, Jekyll and Hyde, pyromaniacal styling like Easter Island sea creatures. Smile and cut you in the face. The truck that drove them hydroplaned on the tears of shattered dreams. Poppy seed candy cane tastes sweet to cheap with no insurance. My life drawn in anime. Is it okay to play on the one-way walking backwards? Your rules don't apply to me. I stand defiantly supine. My spine scratches the street and makes a noise similar to the struggle. My black fist cocked in the mist like two gorillas. Game hens, game wardens. Warning, that final shot to fire. You got my chest wired so you can hear the sounds bouncing off brick walls, cattle calls of the ghetto. Is this the internment camp revamp? Who fares well when welfare fails to fix that baby mama mojo? Mackin' to make that monthly check. Yo, hey. I work for a living cause talking to you don't pay shit. And if I get a penny for these thoughts, I might just quit. But my son.
Yo. Good morning. Thank you. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul
in the
B.
D's.
In the D's. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Chad Chimers, Ghost Listeners. Thanks for everybody that's joined us today and been checking it out. Really appreciate really appreciate everybody who's jumping into the chat and letting us talking about all these things, letting us know what's going on. It's a learning process, this civic engagement that we're in right now. We're all learning, and I love that we're on this journey together to learn and to be more aware and take more action based on our awareness. So Thank you for that. Get your haps together. We're going to have a little short haps session here a little later on. But before we get to that, Buddy, want to do a little lightning round on the rest of the articles there?
Yeah. Just kind of reiterating some of the bills that are being discussed. I mean, we've kind of talked about them throughout the show, but want to get into some details of these bills before we get out of here, starting with LB 531, which made its debut and had its day on the legislative floor yesterday. Received a lot of support. So big shout out to everybody who was able to make it out to testify for that bill. But again, LB 531 and LB 785 are the two bills that are 786, excuse me, are the two bills that lay out the details of, again, LB 1024, the Economic Recovery Act. 531, which again was laid out yesterday, lays out the plan of how to distribute some of those funds. And there are a few major changes that we should be looking out for, or at least be aware of in regards to LB 1024. One of the major ones is where the money is coming from. Initially, when the bill was presented, it was understood that the funds for this bill will come out of ARPA funds. Again, the federally pandemic-related ARPA funds. That stands for American Rescue Plan Act. But now, as of LB 531, Senator McKinney would have funding come from the state's cash reserve, which gives them more time to spend the money. Per federal guidelines, ARPA dollars must be spent by 2026. However, Senator Wayne says that he's really concerned that the money won't be spent by that time, which could cause some troubles. However, if this amendment does go through, LB 531 again would move the funding to the state's cash reserves, which would not only offer more time, but more flexibility with how that money is spent. So again, kind of giving more opportunity for those who have ideas that may not fall in line with the cause or the need of the American Rescue Plan Act. So that's one of the big changes. Also, the Nebraska Department of Economic Development, which is to finalize the grant contracts with North and South Omaha recipients, they're also inundated with other ARPA funds projects and spending other forms of ARPA funds. So again, that move away from the ARPA funds could actually go a long way towards finalizing and actualizing this plan.
That's good. That's encouraging to hear that they're still doing work on this.
Yeah, definitely. Also, in addition to that change, there's some recommendations that have been added as well. If you remember, Olson was the company behind this bill that kind of gave the recommendations and went through, I think the number was like 370 or so different applications for this. And now Senator McKinney, as an amendment to LB 531, is asking for $20 million for the Malcolm X Memorial project, and then also another $20 million for federally qualified health centers, in addition to $40 million for the proposed North Omaha Business Park near Epley Field, which will be in addition to the original $60 million that was earmarked. So again, there are some other recommendations that are being added to this, and then more changes will come out tomorrow with LB 786. So again, if you can make it through, please do so, as of course there's been a lot of questions, a lot of confusion with this process, and hopefully these will add more clarity as we move forward.
There you go. Wanda Lewis says the money could likely go to the developers of Blackstone that's planning on developing in North Omaha. Be careful what you ask for. Definitely got to take a look at that. But like I said, we this is the reason why we have the senators on Friday and stuff like that too. We can ask them questions about where some of this stuff is earmarked for, where it's going, and what's happening with it, and all that good stuff. So we can kind of keep our eye on it. So yeah, I definitely hear that. Hear that concern.
And I also would like to reiterate that there are other opportunities and kind of economic fallout from this. Even if your project or idea doesn't directly get funded through this bill, again, there are some ideas. There's, of course, Senator McKinney's incubator project that should be coming. There's also some projects within this that have basically the whole purpose of that project is to give out $100,000 or so to 100 different businesses. So there, even through this, there might be indirect opportunities for funding and economic development in the community. So let's keep that in mind. And again, let's come together. That's kind of been the theme.
There you go. That's what Wanda Lewis is leaving us with. That's if North Omaha can get it together. This is the week to do that. So one step in to help getting that together is to go ahead and help back that bill. Again, that bill is LB 785. You can write a testimony about that today before noon, or show up in person tomorrow would be preferable, and help the process. As you can see, the senators have continued to work on that 1024. It's turned into the two bills now, the 531 and the 785, and it's more refined and more money and more asks. So we definitely want to keep on supporting them on trying to make that happen. Like you said, like Wanda Lewis said, if we can get it together. So there you go. There's definitely a deadline. That's been one of the things that's plagued us this whole time too, is the deadline. Putting in the application in the first place, and all the deadlines on how to spend the money in the end, and the money having to be spent at a certain time and so on. So, but like I said, you can see the senators are still working on trying to push that back, on trying to divert funds to go to other places that didn't really line up with ARPA and all those good things. So shout out to them for doing that work.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was just agreeing. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that one. And the last story that I really have is the education board fight that we've been talking about throughout the entire show. Again, legislative resolution 24CA, which is a constitutional amendment to the state's constitution presented by State Senator Joni Albright, which would eliminate the State Board of Education and replace it with a education commissioner who would be selected by the governor. So again, this is a constitutional amendment which would effectively, again, eliminate the state's Board of Education and put all control of the state's education system under control of the governor, which again, already, the governor has a lot of power already. So that'll just be another one.
There you go. So not getting a lot of support, which is encouraging on that one.
Yep.
We'll definitely keep our eye on that and talk about that a little bit more as well. 2 minutes before 9 o'clock this morning, and if you believe in the concept of time, that is, and we kind of have the only way I believe in the concept of time is when we have agreements like we gonna stop at 9 o'clock, which is what we agreed on. So we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Before we do that, though, there's a couple things that I did want to definitely talk about. Of course, we're talking about making sure again that we go up if we can and support McKinney's bill LB 785. Show some solidarity here about getting the money into the north side. There's a couple more items out here too that I need to talk about too, which is the 16th annual Violence Prevention, Justice and Reform Summit that's happening on the 11th. This is another huge situation here. As you can see at the bottom of this flyer, there's a lot of supporters, a lot of organizations that are part of this, including 360, Charles Drew, Urban League. You can go on and on. So Metro, even Malcolm X Moore Foundation. There's a lot of people that are involved here. So definitely look at this. We're going to be talking about issues and solutions, discussions, and actions. This is another one of the speaking engagement where there's a panelist, there's a breakfast there, and you can start at 8:30 and have a discussion here on what's going on. That's going to be at Metropolitan Community College, Fort Omaha campus. So definitely check that out. We'll put that in Friends of Sky Omaha. And it's definitely something that we need to be a part of and look at for sure. Also, I see there's a North Omaha Trail artist call that Fabric Lab put out. They're accepting proposals until March 26th. Go check this out. The North Omaha Trail situation. Check it out. There's a $5,000 honorarium for whoever they choose to do the art for this walking trail, this North Omaha Trail. So definitely check that out if you're interested. If you're an artist, you're interested in what's happening there. You can go to Fabric Lab and fabriclab.org, I believe it is, to get some information on that. You can definitely look them up on the Facebook page. They're Friends of Sky Omaha, so you can definitely check them out and see what they got going on there. Also, don't forget about Hanky Panky, a funk review coming up on the 11th of March as well. It's a 21 and over show, live funk band, and a burlesque show, and a lot of other kind of entertainment there as well. So it's gonna be super fun. Get your tickets at bensontheater.org. Definitely check them out. And don't forget about the art battle that's happening March 18th at the Culture House, man. It's going down. 12 artists, 3 rounds, 1 champion. 6 o'clock on March 18th. Culture House doing it again with that art battle. It's a huge event. Cold-blooded. One more thing I did see too was a Lead Activity Center Spring Craft Fair. Saturday, March 11th is happening from 9 to 3 at the Lead Activity Center that's out in Bellevue. So don't say that we don't show you no haps out in Bellevue too. You can go check out some of the things that's going on out there as well. Actually, this is from one of the Chad Chimers, Friends of Sky Omaha, that's on the Friends of Sky Omaha page that was pushing this. So just wanted to give a shout out to them for doing that as well. If you have any other events, please put them in Friends of Sky Omaha. Really appreciate everybody who does that. We'll do our best to try to big those events up and get people get people there. That's what it's all about. I want to give one last shout out to the squad. Man, really, really proud of what the readers done with the Disinvested series and all the writers and everybody who was a part of that and made that happen. So shout out to the reader, our partners, for doing that, and the year journey we had on all these articles and the discussions that we had on them. We've had hundreds of hours now of writing and discussion, investigative work, and everything else that goes along with this. So that's what's up. Absolutely. We're gonna get out of here. So thanks for joining us, buddy. You got some words for the people?
Man, big shout out to the ladies for coming through. As always, a powerful Women's Wednesday, especially on this International Women's Day. Call your moms up, call the ladies in your life, tell them you love them on this special day, man. So we appreciate y'all for coming through. Precious and McKesson and Kimara Snipes, Politicin with Pete, letting us know what's good in the hood. Definitely appreciate that. As always, big shout out to the chat chimers, all the ghost listeners, first and last time listeners, everybody. We love you. We thank you. Catch you same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on Sky Omaha in the morning. So without further ado, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
I'm going to get up out of here, and I'm going to go ahead and solo myself so you can handle your business, and we'll be back on Friday together. So peace out.
Yes.
Peace out. Ladies and gentlemen, just want to say, Miss Erica Felt in the chat says, wonderful show with important information and feel-good conversations. Please drink your water, direct your dollars, and put your health first. Be good to yourselves. Appreciate it. Lady Keister says, great Women's Wednesday show. Thanks to all. Appreciate you coming on. Like I said, can't do this without you guys coming on in and discussing it with us. Ariel's 402 says, have a blessed day, everyone. Appreciate it. Pop says, International Women's Wednesday was off the hook. Thanks for another great show. Much love and see you all on Friday. Thanks, Pops. Appreciate you. Mama God says, great fam. Excuse me. Thanks for joining us, Mama God. Always a pleasure. Marianne Williams says, love y'all. See y'all Friday. See you Friday. Hopefully you'll see us sooner than that if we can make our way up to the Capitol on some of these bills we want to support. So thank you so much. We cannot do this without you. If you're not a member of Friends of First Sky Omaha, please join that group page. And remember, respect everyone in the group page. And it is for information for us to continue this journey of figuring out civics and what we can do about all of those things. So appreciate it very much. Alice 501 says, happy Women's Day. Appreciate that. Yeah, International Women's Day. Appreciate everybody who joined us on this day. I can't believe how perfectly it fell on our own natural Women's Wednesday around here. So thank you so much for joining us. And of course, shout out to Precious and shout out to Kimara. Put some respect on their names. They always are coming, bringing the fire, bringing the thunder, bringing it all. I love hearing from them. Learn so much every time we do. So shout out to them. Want to give thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. I also want to give a shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. And I want to give shout out to you, the chat chimers, for allowing us to speak with you and have these conversations. If you've missed any parts of the show, you can go back and watch them in their entirety on Facebook or YouTube. And if you do, I definitely encourage you to check out the chat at the same time, because that's where a lot of the conversations are happening and things are going. So really, really appreciate that. I hope to see some of you guys out there tomorrow. I'm going to try to make my way out to Lincoln tomorrow to be a part of what's going on there, and hopefully see some of you guys there too. But don't forget, if you can't make it, definitely hit that legislative page on the bill that you're looking for. Hit that button so that you can do write a little short, authentic letter about why you support the bills that you support. And again, we're going to try to keep it up, do a better job of introducing bills, helping translate some of this stuff, help some of the senators go through the 800 different bills that are out there and see which ones are important to us and which ones we want to back and help and keep that process going now that we're starting to understand it more. So thanks to everybody. Really appreciate that. Ariel's 402 says, hit the like button on the way out. Please do that. Like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 200 listeners on YouTube. So we definitely want to please do that if you're over on YouTube for sure. And share the show. Let everybody know that this is going on so we can continue to have these conversations and bring more voices in to be heard and to be able to learn from each other. So thank you very much. My last thanks is for those of you that are reoccurring members of the channel. If you're a $10 person, $25 person, $50 person, everybody is appreciated. Thank you so much for doing that. That allows us to keep this channel going and keep us here on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every 2 hours a day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, to have these conversations. And it does not work without your support. So go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button if you feel so inclined. And we really appreciate all the help that we can get there as well. So thank you very much. We will see you on Friday. We will have a much more extensive HAPS. Get your HAPS together for Friday as well. And of course, we'll have brother senators Justin Wayne and Terrell McKinney, put some respect on their names, come on to give us the legislative report, talk about what went on this week and what they saw. And if everything they saw matched up to the support that everybody said they wanted to give. And if we can make a difference by all coming together in the way that we're trying to come together. So once again, we're out of here. My name is Paul B. Buddi3 Da Gawd had to go take care of some business real quick, but we'll catch up with him again on Friday. And so until then, we'll see you. You guys have a good one. Take care of yourselves this week. Get prepared today. It's supposed to snow tomorrow. 2 to 5, they say. 2 to 5. That's a lot. It's a lot. As far as I'm concerned, that's a lot. So get your supplies and everything ready for that. So you got to go trudge out in that mess. I know that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, in the meantime, between time, we'll see you. Take care. Peace. Have a good one.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red